Friday the 8th of August now, and I just thought I'd pick up the camera because I have just received a delivery in the post from my protein, and this is actually Zoe Rae's collection, not the whole collection, just a few of the items. It went live yesterday and I thought, to be honest, it's limited edition. I really wanted some pink gym wear, and knowing that Zoe Rae obviously does a lot of Hyroxes, hold that thought. Sorry, just had to change the battery. Yeah, knowing that she does a lot of Hyroxes and running and stuff like that, I thought that they would have to be really good quality shorts, etc. Because it's, you know, her collection, she's promoting it, blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, why not? I haven't had some new gym stuff in a while, and like I said, it's limited edition. So I ordered a few bits. They were doing an offer. It was save 10% when you order 3 or more items, or save 15% when you order 5 or more. And it was really annoying because I initially put my order in and bought 3 items. And then I went on to Zoe's story and noticed that she'd said that the pink set comes up big, and that she's a size 8 to 10 and had sized down to an XS. I don't think I've ever been an XS in my life. However, I then cancelled my order, reordered it, but then I was ordering 4 things because I bought the shorts in 2 sizes because I wasn't sure which size I'd be. And then I was like, well, I might as well just order another item to save 15%. Girl maths, so backwards because I'm going to be returning a pair of the shorts, but hey, I felt like I was getting a deal. So we have got the women's Tempo seamless scrunch shorts in violet pink, and these are the XS. Oh my god, they're tiny. They've got a scrunch bum as well. I don't think I'll be fitting in them, to be honest, but hey ho. I then also got them in a small, which, to be honest with you, in Gymshark I'm a medium. But like I say, I've never ordered anything from my protein before, and I was kind of going off of her sizing. So these are the small. Again, they've got a scrunch bum, so we'll just have to see. I then ordered them in black. They also came in chocolate brown, which I was going to get, but I just couldn't justify spending like £200 on gym stuff that I don't really need. These are the black ones. What size did I get them in? A small, because I think they're just like normal. So again, the scrunch bum. Really nice material, by the way. Feels like the waistband is going to be quite thick. So I then got, I was going to get the white top so that it kind of went with the stuff that I thought, but I have a couple of white sports bras already. So I went for the chocolate brown, which looks tiny, to be honest with you. I don't have the biggest chest, but it looks tiny, and then it just has this crisscross detail. Straps aren't adjustable. I got this in a small, again going off of Zoe's sizing. I'm usually a medium in Gymshark, so this whole order could be a disaster. And then I picked up the pink to match the shorts, although that looks brighter pink slightly. Again, in a small, and it is the same. Hello again. I've just rubbed my eye, it's probably why it's looking a little bit red. Basically, we are just in McDonald's drive-through, just gonna get one of the new green apple Sprites. We had it the other day, and I had the mango and passion fruit one, but we're just gonna get that because we're just gonna head to B&Q, Dunelm, Halfords, just have a bit of a mooch around. So we'll check in with you in a bit. We are joined by the main man himself for the, well, we've had him since Monday, and we're probably gonna have him until the end of next week, because then we're off to France. So Barney, how are you? We've just been for a walk, so I think he's a little bit hot, because although it's really cloudy out today, it's actually really warm. I think it's still like 20 odd degrees. So hiya. Why are you so serious? Hi. So we're just literally going into Halfords. I didn't actually say why. Basically, Jack's racing in France next week, and up until now he has been transporting his bikes in the back of of the truck, but kind of stacking them on top of each other. And we just recently added a bit of MDF to the mix, but it's just still not quite cutting the mustard, especially if I want to take my bike. So we're going to look at getting a bike rack to put on the back of the truck so that we can take up to 4 bikes, is it?
Yeah, I just think also, I always, not that it's a problem, obviously bikes are made to come apart, but every time I put my bike in, I've got to take the front wheel off. And I just think it's like on off, on off, on off, and then I've got both bikes either get stacked on top of each other or have the MDF. Sometimes the MDF slips. It's just not ideal. I'd rather have a system where I can just put all the bikes on.
Lovely.
And then also, even like when we go to Corinne's mum's house, like last weekend, I had my gravel bike and my road bike. It was nice to have the option to do either. Corinne can bring her bike, you know.
Because that's the thing, when we go to these bike races, I either have to walk or drive to feed zones, which has been fine up until now, but potentially in France it might be a little bit further, so I might actually want to cycle rather than rely on someone else or have to drive in a foreign country with the truck. Like, it's a really big vehicle to navigate for me because I'm used to just driving a small car. So yeah, we're just going to go in and see if they've got it, and then we'll pop along to B&Q, have a little mooch, because why not? Good secured. I don't actually need anything, but just having a little bit of a wander around, see what they've got. Plant stands, lovely. Oh, actually we did pick up these just for all the race box, just to cut off cable ties and stuff.
See, this is the thing. Corinne makes out as if she hates bikes and bike racing, but secretly she loves all the organisation and planning. And every time we come back from a race where it's a weekend or a day like away, she's like, oh, we can do this next time and do that. So really, she loves it.
Do I?
Yeah. Muscles.
That's great. Oh, this is a 2-handle, this one.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
No, my back is still sore. Should it is? Just a little. Ready? Is that good?
Figure out you're just wrong as a
Yeah, because it's not too in your face. Is that good or not?
The Zen zone, yeah. What are we thinking? Are we getting rid of that?
Yeah, but not now. Monday the 18th of August, and I actually have the day off today. My line manager asked for annual leave like so far in advance, particularly August and September, because they tend to be really busy leave periods, obviously because it's the summer holidays and things like that. And when I was looking at days that I needed off, obviously I had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday last week and the week before, to have my niece. And then when I was looking at the annual leave chart and stuff and just planning when I wanted to have days off, I thought today would be a really good day to have off, because Mondays the cleaning has already been done by that point and I can actually have a day to myself, which, as we all know, never really happens. So I'm just going to do the ironing, because I didn't get around to doing that yesterday because we had quite a busy day in the end. So just to catch you up with kind of where we're at. Saturday we spoke to in the car. We went to Halfords and got a bike rack for Jack's truck to go on the tow bar, and we had a little look in B&Q, and we also, I think that was about it, to be honest. Saturday we then came home and I got Jack to help me just have a little bit of a rearrange out there with our little seating area, and that was pretty much Saturday. We got Chinese for dinner from a new place about 15 minutes away, and it was divine, but we ordered way too much, because who actually orders the right amount of Chinese? Asking for a friend. Yesterday was cleaning, like I say, and Jack had, I think he did 4 hours in the end on the bike in the morning, and then in the afternoon we had to finish off building the bike rack. And I had a little bit of a sort out in the gym, because we seem to have like probably about 50 water bottles, and there is 2 of us. A lot of them, granted, are Jack's bottles for his racing, because obviously he needs more than just one. So I think he's got about 8 or 9 of his endurance bottles for racing. And then obviously, like, I've got a couple of sports bottles, I've got a couple of normal bottles, and we've got our travel mugs and things like that. So I had a bit of a sort out with all of that, because the cupboard in the kitchen where they are was just getting out of hand. So I said to Jack, let's just keep like 2 or 3 of your endurance ones in the house, and the others can go out in the gym, because we don't need those day to day, we only need those when you're racing. So I basically had a bit of sort out of that in the gym yesterday. And I don't know if we've said, but Jack has now got another bike. So he's got 2 road bikes, and he's now got a gravel bike, and we've got my bike as well. So we have 4 bikes between us, and we only built the shed in the gym to accommodate 2 bikes at the time. Jack's 1 road bike and my bike, but he then ended up getting another bike. And anyway, so we were just trying to work out where the new bike is going to go, like where's going to be best for storage, you know, where's not going to be annoying for us, but also where it's not going to get damaged and those kind of things. So we were just having a bit of a sort out there. It is going to stay in the shed, because that's the best place for it. And I had a bit of a sort out down the sides of the shed and the gym, because it was just getting out of control. Everything was just being chucked down there, and there are water butts down the end there, and we literally couldn't get to them because it was just full of junk. So I had a sort out there. I've got a garden greenhouse metal shelving thing that I'd like to rehome, but so far nobody wants it. And then I had to help someone on the estate. Their sister, I think it is getting married today, and she's made all these like biscuits, but the venue wouldn't let her use it unless she put like an allergy sticker on it, to say it may contain nuts. So I offered to print it off for her, but then somehow managed to get roped into actually making them for her. But luckily it didn't take too long. It was very, very basic. But so we did that, and that was kind of our day. We watched a little bit of the touring cars yesterday as well. And then, like I say, I've got the day off today. So actually, other than doing this ironing, and I'm just doing a couple more loads of washing, because I changed the bedding and all the towels and everything on a Sunday, it ends up being so much washing, and you just can't do it all in one day, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just doing that so that I can get caught up with the washing, then all of our washing can get put away. And I'm just trying to decide what to do today, to be honest, because I've kind of done all of the jobs that I set out to do today over the weekend and on Friday evening. I've just whipped the hoover around again this morning and re-washed the floors, because Barney has gone back to Jack's parents. So I always like to do that to kind of reset the house. So I've done that. Not sure whether we're going to leave his bed out permanently, because we're going to have him again in a couple of weeks, or if it's going to go up in the loft, or if we'll just tuck it out the way. I'm not really sure. So that's just still there at the moment. And I've washed up like all his bowls and everything like that. So kind of reset the house. And I'm just deciding, I need to go to Home Bargains at some point, because Jack and I would take lots of like little vitamins and stuff like that, and we are running low on one of them, and we get them from Home Bargains. So I do need to go there at some point in the next 2 weeks, and we also need to get a toilet roll, and I was just like, shall I just go to Home Bargains today, get it out of the way? But then part of me is like, whenever I go out in the car on a day off, I end up being out for hours and I never actually then sort of have a chilled day at home. So I don't really know what to do, to be honest, today. I'm just, trying to decide. I'm just doing a little bit of editing on my laptop. I'm just importing some footage that we've taken from this weekend. And the audio is a little bit rubbish on it at the moment, so I'm really hoping that sorts itself out. Otherwise I may not be able to use any of it, or it would just have to be time-lapsed, whatever we can use. But yeah, anyway, that is that. Oh, and Jack also had a call yesterday with a nutritionist as well, because part of his cycling team thing, they are working with this newly qualified lady who wants to obviously build up her experience, build up her clientele, whatever. So Jack has put himself forward for that. So he had a call with her yesterday afternoon, and I literally just sat out on our sofa in the sun. We do need to get a parasol though. I don't know if I mentioned that, but we need to get a parasol because basically, as lovely as our new seating area is, in the peak of the summer and when the sun is out in full force, it's like really hot to sit out there, but not even so much that it's hot. Yes, it is hot, but the sun like is almost blinding when you want to sit there. So we need a parasol to obviously protect us from the sun, but being summer, they're like sold out everywhere, which is really annoying. And we also need to get a cover for our garden furniture in preparation for winter. And again, I feel like it's the kind of thing that we may actually be a little bit late to the party to buy one from a shop, so it might be an Amazon job. But again, if I go out today, maybe I'll have a little look to see if I can get one of those, because we haven't got anywhere to put it in the winter, so it will be staying outside, so it needs to be covered so that obviously it doesn't get ruined. And I also need to get a storage box for our outdoor cushions, because again, at the moment they're just living in the lounge and they're driving me nuts. So I was having a little bit of sort out in the shed yesterday, along with doing obviously the bike thingy, but to try and see if I could make some space for a storage box to go for our cushions, because again, when we built our shed, it was not part of the plan to have all of these additional things, and a lot of the stuff in there are plant pots, because as you know, I love my gardening, so it is just a little bit of Tetris that goes on permanently in this house. You're currently balancing on some boxes from Jack's gravel shoes and my new spin shoes, which my spin shoe box can go for the bin, but I think Jack wanted to keep his boxes for a couple of weeks. But it's just things like that, you know, they just need to be sorted and recycled if they're going to be recycled, or put somewhere else if they're being kept, because it is just really annoying, although it's making pretty good tripod right now. So yeah, I'm just going to do the ironing, and I am just watching one of Shamuni's YouTube videos, and I will check in with you guys in a bit when I do something. Hello everybody, I am now back from the shops. Did I say I was going to the shops? I'm not sure. I ended up nipping to Home Bargains, B&M, Asda, Sports Direct, Matalan, just have a bit of a mooch around. So first of all, B&M got some kitchen roll and Home Bargains got some toilet roll because we needed some of those, boring adult stuff. And then I got 2 hot chocolates from B&M. Yours currently sat on one because I haven't had this for a really, really long time, and I sometimes have a hot chocolate, sometimes I have a coffee, so I just got 2 of those just to stock up. I went into Home Bargains because I was looking for, I got some turmeric tablets. That's what I actually went out for, so I got them. And when I was there, I saw these cushions. Now, I don't know if I've shown you our outdoor cushions or not, but basically for our corner sofa, we've got some bumblebee cushions with some stripes on the back, and they don't have any more, and it's really annoying because we've got the little bench, and the bench needs cushion as well because it's really uncomfortable. So I saw these and I thought these were quite jazzy, and I wasn't sure whether or not they needed to match the corner sofa or not because they're in a completely different area of the garden, and the bench is white and the corner sofa is black, and I thought that this was quite vibrant and colourful. And they were £3.99 each, which is actually cheaper than the ones I got from B&M. So maybe returning these, maybe not, but I've got 2 of those. They're double-sided. Was also on the hunt for an outdoor, well no, not an outdoor, just a storage box to put all of these cushions in, but I just can't find anything big enough for the seat pads, and I don't really want to have to bend them if I can help it. Obviously if I can't find one at all, then that will have to be the case, but I'm now considering maybe looking to see if I can get some sort of outdoor trunk, but not the really long one. See if they do almost like a taller but narrower one. I don't really know. Who knows? And then I went into Sports Direct. So basically, I've just recently got some spin cycling shoes because I've been doing spin now for probably like maybe 4 months. And, well, 4 months here. I've done spin since I was 12. But I've always ummed and ahed whether or not I should get some spin shoes. And I've always said no because I don't kind of spin enough. However, I've noticed over the last couple of years that I'm ruining my trainers. Like on the side, I'm getting holes where obviously my foot is in the cages and they're obviously moving slightly because I don't like the actual strap to be too tight. That I'm then obviously wearing the material away, and I'm then having to replace my trainers because I'm basically wearing my trainers for absolutely everything. So last year I started a new approach of having a pair of trainers for the gym, a pair of running trainers, and I'm still getting the issue with my gym trainers because I'm wearing them for spin. So then I thought, right, this is getting ridiculous. If I now have some spin shoes for spin, shoes for the gym, and my running trainers, then surely they're all going to last a long time. So I have been trying to find some spin shoes for absolutely ages because I currently have some for my road bike which have the SPD cleats in. I think they are like the triangular one. But they're so uncomfortable. They're actually probably a little bit small. I got those on Amazon in probably 2021. So when, you know, the restrictions were still in place kind of, you couldn't really go to shops, you weren't allowed to try things on, you couldn't return things. So I ordered them online. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh, they'll probably give over time, but they haven't, and they're just so uncomfortable. Anyway, then when I wanted to get some spin shoes, I thought that I could downgrade my road shoes to the spin bike and then get some new shoes for my road bike. However, the ones that I got from Amazon don't have the option to have the mountain bike cleats, which is what spin bikes use. So, I ended up going for these Pinnacle shoes for spin, and I've literally only worn them twice. However, they are so much more comfortable than the ones that I got on Amazon. So they were on offer. They were down from 100 to 50, and they're actually unisex, which I think suits me better because I've got wide feet, and I feel like obviously being unisex, they kind of cater for men, and I feel like men naturally do just have bigger feet. So originally I was going to get some Velcro shoes for my spin bike because I thought they'd be nicer and more comfortable. However, these are probably the most comfortable shoe I've literally ever put on, and they've got the boa and the Velcro. Like I say, I've only worn them twice for spin, but we went out on Saturday for a little bike ride. It was literally only 30k. Met my brother down the road because he was collecting his bike because he had some upgrades done to it from someone that Jack uses. And it just reaffirmed to me that my current road shoes are so uncomfortable, and I worry about cycling further than we did 30k, like I say, because they're just that uncomfortable, to the point where I get a numb foot and like my toes start going all tingly, and it's just not fun. And I do want to start cycling a little bit more. Hold that thought, I'm just gonna go check my lunch. Sorry, I'm back. I just made myself a tuna and cheese bit of ciabatta, basically. So it's a little bit hot at the moment. The cheese is like lava, so I'll let it cool down. Anyway, back to what I was saying. My shoes that I currently have on my road bike, just so uncomfortable. Saturday reaffirmed that to me. So I said to Jack, I want to see how I go with my current spin shoes and then get another pair. However, trying to find those was like trying to find a needle in a haystack in terms of trying to get them in store. I don't like ordering things online from Sports Direct, especially because they charge you to return things and you can't return it in store, even though it's all Sports Direct. If you bought it online, you have to return it online. If you buy it in store, obviously you can return it in store or get an exchange or whatever. And I quite like a lot of this, like sports bras, crop tops, whatever, from Sports Direct. So worst case scenario, if this doesn't work out, then I can exchange it for something else. However, I'm pretty sure once you put the cleats on, then they're non-returnable. Anyway, long story short, I went to Sports Direct today just on the off chance to see if they had these in an 8, because every time I've gone, they don't have any cycling shoes in an 8, let alone these ones, which are the exact same as the ones that I currently have for spin, which I ended up getting in Colchester, actually, out of all places. So yeah, I've got these. So I'm pretty sure I've got a pair of brand new cleats in the shed. So I can persuade Jack very nicely to put those on for me. And this kind of is, you know, it goes hand in hand with getting the bike rack. So part of the bike rack was, one, to save time, because basically whenever we go bike racing, I think we mentioned in the car the other day when we were talking to you that Jack stacks his bike on top of each other. In doing that, we have to empty his truck completely of everything that he has in the back. And it's obviously time consuming, so we have to empty it all out on, like, say, the Friday or whenever we need to empty it out, and then we have to load it all back up again on the Sunday, and it's just annoying. So not only is it bad for Jack's bike, keep taking it on and off, it's time consuming. So by having the bike rack, it obviously saves us time in that aspect, but it also gives us the freedom and the ability to take my bike to my mum's. So at the moment, what happens when we go to my mum's is, because Jack's working with a trainer, he'll quite often take his bike to do his training when he's at my mum's, and I will do my body combat class on a Saturday, because I like to do that, because I used to do that when I lived in Kent, and it's the same instructor and the same people, and for me that is my home from home. And I really like to do that, and I also still have a gym membership there, so I need to use it kind of a minimum of once whenever we go there, just to get my use out of it. But on a Sunday, the spin instructor that we used to go to has actually moved to Cornwall. I think I mentioned in a few videos back when I was reviewing the spin class, this down here. So the person who's taken over the spin class on a Sunday isn't our favourite instructor at all. And I did it the other day, and it just reaffirmed me that it was just awful and a means to an end. You know, if it's really bad weather, or, you know, I'm desperate or whatever, I'll do it. But in having the bike rack, it now means that I can take my bike to my mum's as well, and potentially go out for a bike ride, either with Jack, you know, join him for the last little bit, with one of my brothers, both of my brothers, by myself, whatever. Because I do want to ride my bike a little bit more, because I've got it, it just sits in the shed, it doesn't get used, and hopefully now that I'm £50 up, not down, because, you know, you can't put a price on your health, but £50 down in terms of getting some more shoes, then it'll make me use my bike. And then all I'll do is I'll just sell my other ones, because I've literally probably worn them about maximum 10 times since I've had them, and not for very long at all, because, like I say, they're so uncomfortable. But that's just because they don't fit my size feet. I think I just should have sized up. I'm a 7.5 and they're an 8, and I think that I probably needed a 9, because they come up quite narrow. Anyway, I'm just rambling, but that's my little Home Bargain Sports Direct outing haul. And I'm just going to eat my lunch, and then I'm probably going to go and try all those cushions out on my little bench. I need to put all the washing away, and to be honest with you, that'll probably be it in terms of jobs, because it is like, yeah, 3 o'clock, well, 3:05. Jack will be home probably within the next hour, and the day is pretty much over.